Welcome back. This is episode 224 of the Veterinary Business video show. In this episode we'll learn the importance of monitoring the level of discounting, authorised or not, in veterinary practice, and we'll hear how to attract talent away from the corporate big shots. We'll see how to tame a challenging telephone caller. We'll learn how to create an unstoppable client service brand, and I'll offer you my quick business tip for this episode. I'm John Sheridan, and this is the video show from Veterinary Business. Recently I came across an article on discounting veterinary services published in the online Vet Practice magazine in Australia. It included a report that Australian veterinary practices only average between 7 and 12% profitability, figures which seem to correlate quite closely with a median figure of just under 10% for UK practices. It suggests that one of the main reasons is the emotion factor, and that when dealing with clients wanting the best for their pets, it's tempting to try to soften the financial blow with shaved bills or simply foregoing charges for additional services. The problem is that shaving bills can quickly add up to a major toll on practice finances, and it raises the question of whether or not, on business grounds, clinicians should play any part at all in setting or charging professional fees. Here's a clip from Brendan Howard reporting on a presentation by Mark Opperman about the importance for managers of monitoring the level of authorised or maybe even unauthorised discounting in veterinary practice.
Hi, I'm Brendan Howard, Business Channel Director for DVM360.com, and I'm here at the Fetch DVM360 conference, and I just got out of a session with Mark Opperman and Sheila Gross-Didier, and I want to talk discounting. If you have one doctor or more who are prone to adjust the fees inside your practice software when people come in, so we're not talking about angel funds, we're not talking about promotional discounts, we're talking about in the room. You've given them the authority where they can lower the price, and this is very common. Your practice software, your PIMS, can run a fee exception report. That's what Mark Opperman wants you to do. You should be looking at a fee exception report. A lot of those discounts you may agree with. You may find a doctor who's discounting a lot, and then you can question why that's happening. Some of those discounts may be appropriate, some may be inappropriate. You want to be able to suss that out.
Now let's see who's on the video show soapbox. What's been the most serious problem for practice owners and managers in recent months and years? I'm pretty sure that recruiting competent, confident, clinical staff with the right attitude would come top of the list. Sometimes the problem is finding any likely applicant to fill the role, and the danger is the damage that could impact your business if you have to recruit somebody who is second best. Here's a clip from Joel Parker of Veterinary Practice Solutions, who suggests how to attract great talent away from what he describes as the corporate big shots and towards your practice.
This week we're talking about the war for talent, and declare it, because what we're going to find here, we're finding it already throughout North America, US, Canada, even Australia and England, that the really talented people are being caught up by all the great practices, by the corporatization and so forth. And the bottom line is, if you're going to find the talent that you need to grow not a good practice but a great practice, you're going to have to declare war on finding it. Okay? That's the bottom of the line. We've got our weekly webinar that we run on Friday, how to find really good people. I encourage all of you to come in on that. Look for the prompt at the end of this. We've also got a course called the Power Team Builder course, which goes over in detail where good people are actually hanging out. They do exist, everybody. If they're not in your practice, they're at another practice, and we're going to show you how to attract them to your practice. But the bottom line is, guys, you got to declare war on finding good talent. So a couple action steps here for you right away. Number one, declare it. Okay? Make sure that you actually get focused on looking for good talent. Oftentimes we get swept up doing the treasury functions, marketing functions, handling all the HR problems in a practice, and we fail to actually get focused on finding exceptionally good people. Every sports team in the world that's ever taken it to the playoffs and won the playoffs had to make this decision. They had to make this decision that mediocrity was not good. They were going to completely disregard it, completely reject it, and they're going to go for gold by finding good people. Which takes me to the second point here, and that is set really, really high goals. You know, All of us who are veterinarians, we got into vet school. That was a super high goal. Can you imagine trying to do it, 20 years down the line, the amount of sheer effort that would take? It takes a ton of effort. That same amount of effort is what it takes to run a great practice. And you can do it, but you got to declare it. You got to put your attention on it. The final thing here is beware of mediocrity. It'll creep in. You'll find that something will be good enough, or that staff member will be good enough. And I'll tell you right now, and there's another Whiteboard Wednesday coming up on this, about how mediocrity and being good is the antithesis of being great.
Now for a tip from the top in the business world of veterinary practice. The tip from the top today is from Wendy Myers, who offers some really practical advice for the reception team in your practice who've received a call from a client demanding to talk to the vet, who just happens to be in the middle of some major procedure in the op room.
A client calls your receptionist and demands to speak to the veterinarian who's currently performing surgery. How should you respond? Let me share my level 1, 2, and 3 approaches. Level 1, screen the call so the pet owner gets immediate help. Explain the doctor's going to be in surgery until 1 o'clock. What is your specific question? A nurse can help you now. When the client explains she can't get her cat to swallow the pain pill you prescribed yesterday after surgery, connect her to a nurse who can provide how-to instructions over the phone. The caller gets immediate answers, the cat gets pain relief, and the veterinarian has no messages to return. If the caller demands a second time, escalate your response to level 2. Reply with, "I understand that you need to speak with the doctor who's performing surgery. You may talk with his nurse, or I may connect you to his voicemail and he can return your call after 1 o'clock. Which do you prefer?" If the client continues to challenge you, go to level 3. Use the broken record technique. This is a firm, clear message. Say, "I understand that you need to speak with the doctor who's performing surgery. You may talk with his technician who can provide solutions now, or I can take a message and have the doctor call you after 1 o'clock. Which do you prefer?"
Now for my quick business tip for this episode. I'm an elderly male middle-class Brit, so it's probably not surprising that I had no idea that Nordstrom was the name of a long-established fashion retailer in the United States, nor did I know that in the industry it said that the first words linked with Nordstrom that come to mind is customer service. Here's a clip in which Peter Weinstein of PAW Consulting, an executive director of the Southern California Veterinary Medical Association, suggests how to implement a Nordstrom experience in your practice.
When I talk about a Nordstrom's experience, I mean from every touch point, every moment of truth, every opportunity that your practice engages with a client, some of which are passive, like your website or your message on hold, and some are more active, such as the answering of phone or the way a client is greeted when they come through the door, truly differentiates what a client sees and thinks about your practice. I've been in enough practices where I'm greeted by the top of an employee's head, looking down at a keyboard and being told, "Sign in, sit down, we'll be right with you," versus others where they actually have almost a Walmart greeter type experience where somebody greets you at the door, helps you with your pet, and brings you to the front desk and explains what's going on. So I think you have to define what you want in your practice from a Nordstrom standpoint, but what you want is a memorable experience. You want a client that goes out of your practice and says, "Wow, I don't get that type of experience anywhere else," not just in the healthcare field, but in any service industry that's out there. And you need to build that experience, you need to perfect it, you need to practice it, you need to tweak it if you need to, but that client experience has to be visualized by the ownership. It needs to be verbalized by the ownership and the management, and it needs to be performed each day, every day, all the time by every member of the veterinary hospital team.
So that's my quick business tip. Well, it's this. Nordstrom's exceptional customer service appears to be based first on their attention to detail when it comes to the customer experience, and second, the level to which they empower their employees. Both of those are just as important in veterinary practice, and together they could create an unstoppable client service brand that will make your business stand out as a beacon in your local veterinary marketplace. Well, that's about it for now. I'm John Sheridan, and this has been another video show from Veterinary Business. See you next time.